Hi, welcome to Education 203, Orientation for Observations and Field Experiences. I'm Professor Benoit, and I'm here to go over um, all of the requirements as well as share the resources with you. So notice that all of our resources for observations and field experiences can be found in Module 3. So if you look right over here on the left-hand side, that menu bar, you're going to see we're jumping into our first critical component, and we will also start our observations right here in Module 3. So I'm going to scroll down. It's about midway down the page, and you'll see that you have a heading for observations and field experiences. You are responsible for going through each one of these resources and then taking a quiz. And because this is something that's very important that you understand the requirements, I will not answer any emails about field experiences until you have taken the quiz. You have 2 attempts to take the quiz, and of course, it's open notes. So make sure that you use everything. All of the answers are there. And I've really highlighted the important parts in the quiz, but you're still responsible for knowing all of the material. So we're going to actually start with the very first one, which is the assignment. I'm not actually going to read all of this to you because you can go back and read it yourself, but I'm going to hit the high points. You have to have 10 hours, and our observations and field experiences focus on the 5 critical components of classroom culture. So we're starting with honoring student experience in Module 3, and then we're going to go on and we're going to cover these additional 4. Again, your field experiences and your observation hours focus on those. Throughout the course, we study each of the critical components and examine how it is used to impact classroom culture. And for our course, you actually have 2 options to gain those required hours. You can use the curated videos that are embedded within each module using the scripting and analyzing method. You also have the option of using your field placement and using the field hours worksheet, which I will go over. For many of you, this is your first time doing this. So if you have never used the scripting and analyzing method, it's the same method that you used in Education 204, but I realize that some of you might be taking those classes at the same time. There is a video provided for you in the resources that shows you exactly how to do that. And for all of you, the field hours worksheet is probably new because this is probably your first field placement. That resource is also provided for you in the resources. Observations less than 30 minutes count as half an hour, and observations that are 30 minutes or more count as 1 hour. That includes both videos and in-person observations. And this is to take into account the time that it takes to do the documentation, the scripting and analyzing, or the worksheet. You can use any combination, listen to me carefully, any combination of videos and field placement that you want to accumulate your 10 hours. You can do 5 video, 5 field placement, 10 video, 10 field placement, 3 video, 7 field placement. Again, any combination is accepted. But for each module, if you decide to use videos, some of the videos, I actually deem them watch only, and some of them are deemed script and analyze. For the watch only ones, and again, I'm going to review this within the module, and it's noted within the module, but this simply means that you need to watch the video, you record it on your field experiences data form, the log that you keep track of, your hours. But you don't actually script and analyze it. I'm simply asking you to view it, and you're going to be looking for how the critical components are used in that video or implemented in that video. If it says script and analyze, that means not only do you watch, but you also have to do the script and analyzing documentation method. So be aware of that when it comes to the curated videos. Our field placements begin in Module 3, and it is our desire that you would actually get your field placement teacher at that time. However, just in case you don't worry. Curated videos are provided for you throughout the semester. Therefore, there is no excuse whatsoever for you not to have your requirements by the due dates, the appropriate due dates. So what I'm trying to tell you is, let's say that you actually prefer to do your observation hours in the field. You think it's more authentic, you like it better, you like getting to go in the schools. I totally get it. But let's say that one week you get sick and you can't go. And then the next week you show up and the class isn't even there because they're all taking a test. That means that there's 2 weeks would be missing. So if you've got a work schedule and a school schedule that you're trying to plan around, then that would make it impossible for you to get those hours, except Miss Benoit was kind enough to put the videos in each module for you. So you don't have to get behind, you don't have to stress, you don't have to worry about it. You simply use the videos. So what I'm trying to kindly tell you is there are no excuses for you not to have your required hours by the required points that I want them during this semester. Plan ahead, think ahead, work ahead. Of course, that's barring any emergency situations that you may have, which we can talk about. But so you submit documentation of 5 observations hours in Module 6 and another 5 in Module 10. In Module 12, you're actually going to submit all of them into that database, that teacher certification database. Don't worry about that. I don't even open it up until Module 12. So all you're doing is you're recording them on your log, and then you're either going to script and analyze, or you're going to be in the field completing the worksheet. So let's talk about how you're assessed. Throughout the semester, you're required to document your hours and your field experiences. Please note the bullet points here very carefully. This is what I'm looking for. And please note that the point values vary per semester, depending on if I modify assignments or, maybe add an assignment or take an assignment out. But it's roughly 10 to 15%. It usually falls about 12% is where your field experiences are falling out for the course. So it's very important. Your procedure is to make sure you review all the materials and then take the quiz. Again, please don't email me with any questions until you've completed the task. If you decide to use the video observations, you need to follow the procedures in Module 3 for scripting and analyzing. With each module, curated videos are provided, and there are actually enough for you to get your full 10 hours. So again, no excuse. I want you to take advantage of those field placements, but I also don't want you to feel that for some reason, if you get behind or you're not able to get into the field, that you're not going to be able to get a good grade in the class. You can. I've provided a way for you to do that. So what the other thing that you have to do is when you get your field placement, so you will receive one from me, either via email or via Moodle. I'll tell you the teacher, I'll tell you the school that you're going to be reporting to. You have to do the following in advance before you ever step foot on that school campus. You email the teacher in advance, and in that email, you need to copy me. So make sure you copy me in the email. And here's my email address, lbenoit11@mcneese.edu. Copy and paste the script below into the email. Then you're going to fill in the names, the dates, and the times that coordinate with your context. Please do not, in fact, I'm telling you, do not, no please to it, do not report until the teacher responds. It might take the teacher a couple of days to respond. If the teacher doesn't respond to the first email, please understand that they are very busy. The teachers are very, very busy. It is certainly not intentional. The teachers know that they're going to be receiving MSU students. They understand, they've agreed to this. What I'd like for you to do is simply go back to that original email that you sent, and you're going to resend it. So you're going to hit forward. You're going to put the teacher's name back in. You're going to put my name back in. And very, very kindly, you're going to say, Mr. or Miss so-and-so Smith, I'm just putting this at the top of your email box. thank you so much, and put your name. It's just a kind little, it's kind of like a little tap on the shoulder, okay? This is your email script. The email script, you're going to fill in those blanks. I would like for you to try to go at the same time each week. So pick your day, pick your time. I'm not saying you can't modify that, but number one, we want to be dependable for those teachers. Number two, we want for you to develop a rapport with the same students. So for example, some of the teachers switch students, even at the elementary grades. In secondary, it's a different set of students every 40 minutes to an hour. And so by going at the same day and the same time, you'll begin to build a rapport with the students, and it will actually make your observations more meaningful. Additionally, it will enable you to become more active in the class. So you are allowed to help, to assist the teacher. I don't recommend that you try to teach, and I don't think that the teacher would do that, but it's perfectly fine for you to assist with helping with small group work, distributing materials, even maybe assisting like with an entry bell ringer or something. You cannot be left alone in the classroom with students, so you cannot serve any role as a substitute teacher. Additionally, make sure you sign in and that you wear your school approved ID and or a visitor pass. They might request both. So have your McNeese ID ready to go, and or they might require you to get a visitor pass, but you always check in the front office. Also, make sure you go through the handbook. It is very important that you have the proper and professional dress, grooming, demeanor, speech, actions. Make sure that you are not on a cell phone, that you are not taking pictures. Absolutely, positively, no. So please note that you're continuing to copy this portion. Let them know that your professor is copied in the email, and that anytime during the semester they can reach out to me if they have questions or comments regarding your professionalism or any other aspect of your role in the class. Also, I'll let them know that you can't report until they've given you permission. And then, of course, we want to make sure that we thank them and make sure you, again, sign it with your name. So this is going to be copied and pasted into an email that you copy me in on, and then you send to the professor. So let me go over a few more of the resources at this point. In addition, you have this handbook. So it's very important that you review this handbook. It's pretty lengthy. Some of it you already know and you're very familiar with. And it has to do with the purpose of this, some of the goals of our observations. You might be interested in a lot of the courses that you're going to have to take and the field experience hours that are required for each one. The guidelines are very important. And not only do you need to know some of these for your quiz, but you really need to know them, and you need to be practicing them in the field. So where it says letter of permission or introduction, that is the email that we are sending. I know many of you don't have access to a printer, and because we don't see each other in person, doing it digitally, and in fact, teachers prefer it done digitally. That way it's in their inbox, in email, ready to go. This details that you cannot serve as a substitute teacher. It also details how the hours are counted, as far as if you're in elementary course, you can count recess, you can count lunch, you can count enrichments. So don't be afraid to kind of go outside the box there, depending on when you're able to observe. Here's also some issues that happens. You cannot be an official witness for corporal punishment. And so you want to review that. Additionally, you cannot participate or communicate with students via text messages, email, Facebook, cell phone, any social media. Do not connect with them whatsoever. That is a violation of our policy. A certified teacher must be in the classroom with you at all times. You are not allowed to be left in the classroom alone while the teacher runs to the restroom, or let's say that you show up and the teacher isn't there yet and they haven't been able to find a sub. You cannot stay in that room with those students alone. Do not do it. It goes through a few more of the frequently asked questions that we get from some of our candidates. So make sure that you peruse these, and a lot of times it will answer your question. Again, this is a reminder that Dr. Kathleen Williams is your Director of Clinical Experiences, and she has placed you based on areas that have, sometimes they're in areas that are considered high need, whether it is a socioeconomic high need, but she's also placed you in areas that are close to McNeese. So if there is an issue with your field placement, do not contact her first, contact me first, and then I will contact her on your behalf. We do not want to bombard her with issues that you may have about your placement. The reason that we do field placements rather than you just choosing somewhere to go is because we want to make sure you have a wide variety. And we save your choice, your placement of choice, we save that for your residency. So let's say that you want to return to your the school that you graduated from, or maybe the one that's right down the block from your house for your residency. We want to save that one. So your field placements, you're going to get a wide variety, different size schools, different types of schools throughout your experience, and it really shapes you. It's a wonderful way to inform what you're learning in your classes and to apply what you're learning in your classes. This is the field experience worksheet that I'm talking to you about. The form can be used when you're in the field, and it may not be used for video observations. Notice that each 1 hour of observation needs to complete a different worksheet. If you do fewer than 1 hour, then you can do separate sheets. So let's say that you only go for 30 minutes one day. Well, that would be one worksheet. And then the next week, you're going to go for an hour and a half, but you stay with the same students the entire time. Please complete 1 hour and then start a fresh one for that next 30 minutes. Sometimes you might have different demographics because maybe you go to second hour 1 week, and then the next week you go to third hour. And that's how you alternate it throughout the semester. Those demographics may change. You'll do a brief overview of the lesson, and then I'm going to ask you to start applying some of what you're learning in 203. And this is where you would provide some evidence of it, and you're identifying and you're discussing how it was used. If you were able to play a role during the class, this is where you would let me know what you were doing. And then we're going to get some of your personal reaction and commentary. Please make sure you're fully responding to these with evidence from the observation. The next thing is the field experiences data form. Notice this is the portion that you need to be filling out here. This is all your personal information, name, social security number, things like that. This is the portion right here where you're going to put, if you're using videos, you would simply copy and paste that URL. And if you are actually in person, then this is where you would put the site, the school name, the teacher's name, and then you could really get some of those demographics. So I think that takes care of the paper resources. Let me go back here and note that we did pretty much all of it. This is an overview that gives you that sample again about how to do scripting and analyzing. It also shows you how to fill out the field experiences data form, the log of hours that you fill out, and then when and how you're going to submit hours. So you're going to be submitting hours, 5 of them in module 6 and 5 in module 10. You cannot double dip. So let me go over that. So let's say that you're taking another education class that also requires 10 hours. That means that for this semester, you have 20 hours total of observation hours that you need to get. You can't count 1 hour for my class and another education class. So make sure that you're not double dipping. Again, the videos are provided to help you in case you run into some time issues with your requirements. When you're ready and you feel like you have a good understanding of these, jump in and take the quiz. So I think that takes care of everything. Let me know if you have any questions after you've reviewed the material and you have taken the quiz. And I will be reaching out with your field placements very soon. Just stay patient and await that announcement. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful, wonderful time in the field or exploring those video observations.